If you go to a top chess event, the chances are you will get to see Angelika Valkova. She is always there, either as a commentator, an interviewer, a presenter. She is also a chess content creator herself. In the Biel Chess Festival, Angelika was doing commentary along with Artush Sams for the duration of the event. In this interview, we take a deep dive into Angelika's life, her career, her choices in the world of chess, what kind of content she is producing, what she likes more among her many different roles. Check out this detailed interview with one of the important people in the world of chess. It's a pleasure to be joined here by Angelika Valkova. Angelika, you do so many things in the world of chess, but we are right now in the Biel Chess Festival, so it's only apt to ask you about doing commentary here. And it's been so many years now. I guess you're doing commentary in this tournament. Tell us about your experiences being here.
First of all, thank you. I really appreciate it when I'm also being interviewed, because usually I am the one who is interviewing people. And yeah, first of all, Biel Chess Festival is for me like second home, literally, because I've been coming here since 2021.
Oh, wow.
So it's been my sixth edition.
Wow.
And the experience every time is amazing. It's always, I'm looking forward to spending 2 weeks in Switzerland. And it was my first event that I started working in the chess world. That's why it's also very special for me personally, because originally I started with content creation. Before, of course, I was a chess player, coach and everything, but there was this transmission of being a streamer, being content creator. During the pandemic, everyone started it. And then this was my first event where I got invited to work. And since then, I'm happily coming here every year.
Yeah. And here also you are playing, I think, not just the role of commentator, because we see also you're coordinating many stuff regarding the content, interviews with players, how everything should be planned. And the Biel Chess Festival in particular, I think has so many important things which need to be done because there are so many events. Is this one of the things you like about the event? All these different tournaments happening all together?
Definitely, it's one of the coolest features that you have here. I also, like one of the years when I could combine it, I was also playing myself.
Ah, really?
Yeah, I was playing some Blitz. I think it was Open Swiss Blitz Championship and Open Swiss Rapid Championship, which took place after the event. So,
okay.
But it was one of the previous years. And if I would be a chess fan and I would not be, commentating or doing anything here organizational, I would definitely love to come here to play. And well, for me, it's so nice that I can also combine other things, not only doing the media stuff, but also coordinate with the players. Earlier years, I was also in charge of the beauty awards, which are right now game of the day.
Yeah.
So I was also doing interviews for that and preparing for social media. This year we have expanded our team. So that's why it's so nice, now to fully focus on the commentary. And we are preparing now for the 60th anniversary, which should be amazing.
And it's really wonderful because, it's easy to have this mindset that, okay, I'm just here for doing the commentary and then I'm out. Then I can chill and do whatever I want. But I see this mindset where you are actively trying to improve each little thing. How can the next edition be better? What changes can we make here? What to plan? How did this love come for this event? Was it like working together with a team? Was it just the place? Tell us a bit about this.
So definitely, it's just, you have to have the right place, the right people, and the combination of the factors plays a huge role. And I was lucky enough to, first of all, I was in the team with Arthurs, like first few years. And he's my very close friend. I really love spending time with him besides commentating. So it's not just we're, doing commentary. And then besides that, like we're not having dinner or we basically all the time we're having breakfast, dinners. We discuss many chess topics. And definitely it's important to be in the team with the friends. Paul, the tournament director, who is being one of the core people in the Biel Chess Festival, is also very kind. One of the nicest people, and he tries to, bring more attention to Biel. Peter, the president of the Biel Chess Festival, also super kind, handling all the sponsor things. So it's like combination of many people. Laurent, we have a chief arbiter coming here for many years. Anna also, she's handling other events than the Grandmaster Triathlon. From new people who newcomers, so to say, from the previous few years, it's Arne that we have for a social media team, as well as Big. So when we got Big for a couple of years ago for the broadcast, then the quality boosted really high. Because earlier what we were doing, as both of us, me and Arthurs, are streamers, so we can handle like streaming from ourselves. So what we were doing, we were literally having OBS, and Arthurs was handling all the scenes. I mean, we didn't have so many scenes. But then when we had Wouter Big, it's official name, but everyone calls him Big, who is a full-time employee for chess.com, doing all the top-notch broadcasts all by himself. The quality definitely boosted, and I really love that. And okay, this year we also had more people on the team, as well as we love to have ChessBase India coming here. We have Matt, we have Ivica, Jonathan, my mom, Chess Paparazzi, is here handling social media.
Yes.
So I feel like every time and every few years we have some boost of the people coming here. You know, the team is improving. And definitely this love is coming from having this very nice team, putting such a big project together, and everyone, you know, loving each other, understanding each other, being friends.
Yeah, that definitely makes, you know, the tournament more and more special for you, because you are able to enjoy the work which you're doing here. And what do you have to say about this format? Because I think the format in Biel Chess Festival is also quite unique, in the sense that players get tested in every possible time control. It's this classical rapid freestyle blitz as well, and now we are having this total chess tournament as well. Is this something which you think can be a model for like other events as well, which can be replicated?
When first time I came to Biel and I found out about this triathlon, I was like, what?
And it's so complicated at first, right, to understand how it works. Yeah.
Of course, it's complicated, but then you realize that it actually makes a perfect sense to make the fairest competition possible. To, of course, most of the players focusing on the classical chess. Everyone wants to become a world champion in classical. But of course, being fast, the faster time controls, also being creative, chess 960, Fischer random, freestyle, you name it. It plays a big role. And combining all these formats, first I was like, wow, you know, I've never heard about something like this before. Of course, there were like events. Even when I used to play myself, like some open event, you played, during the open event there'll be some blitz in one of the days or rapid in one of the days. It was all like separate events. Here it's all together, combined with a specific scoring system, which makes a perfect sense. Here, organizers really don't want to have draws. As we know, first of all, there is a FIA rule, and secondly, you're getting only 1.5 points for a draw. So the format is combining all this together. I would love to play it myself. By the way, there is right now similar format to this happening starting today in Biel, Total Chess Open. So where the also chess lovers would be able to play it. Unfortunately, because I have to commentate, it's a little bit too much pressure. And I think that's what been since 2019, if I'm not mistaken, this format has been implemented. And we see now Norway Chess, together with FIDE, they are cooperating with introducing of the new Total Chess Championship. We might say it on example of Biel, because this was an event which was successfully implementing it through all these years. Of course, there are differences because it's going to be fast classical and so on. But I absolutely love the format. I love that there is a chance still to have a fair classical competition, and classical chess does matter, and it shows by the points scoring system. But as well, you have opportunity to boost, you know, your tournament standings by playing well in the blitz, which we could also see, for example, here, that there were some chances for the players, you know, to climb higher in the blitz, and I absolutely love it.
We see you, Angelika, doing many different roles, because, for example, in Norway Chess, you were doing the interviews and lot of production of different short form videos. You have your own Instagram page, you do content there as well. In many FIDE events, we see you not only as the role of an interviewer, but many times as presenter. Here you are commentator. What role would you say you enjoy the most among these?
Oh, that's a tough question. Like in every role that I have, there is something that I really enjoy about it. Like for example, when I am interviewing, I have more time to prepare the questions, even though it's like very short content compared to the whole broadcast.
Yeah.
It has to, it has to fit to the broadcast overall, and it, has a potential to go on like social media and so on. So you work kind of differently there.
Yeah.
During the broadcast, you have to understand you have to talk nonstop. You have to always find the stuff you to talk. And also for me, it depends also with whom I'm working. For example, here with Arthur's, I really love and enjoy commentating. We had this blitz, crazy commentary when, the moves, like the blunders were coming in and everything. But I would say that still I love commentary, like most out of this, because I constantly see something happening and you have to come up with some new information, with some new topic, maybe to discuss something besides what is going on. But in every also when I'm presenting, like for example, when I'm coming with some positions to the broadcast, as I've done in Hong Kong as well as in Goa for the World Cup, when I have to find out something that, for example, the commentators didn't see, I really love that. And also I love like analyzing what happened before and like finding some, for example, really old games, bringing them to the stream and make commentators like, oh, wow. So it was, happening and played by others so many years ago. And sometimes even surprising them by their own games, like happened with Peter Liko during Goa World Cup. So yeah, I would still say Commentator is like one of my favorites. My favorite, and I love also interviewing, of course.
No, there's all these different roles, of course, and all these roles have to be taken care of very particularly because all have different needs, different things you have to do it properly. And coming to like the work which you do, are you a part of any particular organization? Like, are you a FIDE employee as such, a Chess.com employee as such, or would you still say you're a freelance agent who works wherever she needs to be?
So yeah, I'm a freelancer. So basically, I work on any projects depending on like where I apply to or if I'm being asked to work. So for that reason, I'm not part of any organization. I have still the Chess.com streamer partnership program from back when I started streaming. So basically, that's the only thing which I have. But it's and also I have of course, I'm a Chess.com affiliate because of that. And mostly when I'm streaming, I do stream on Chess.com, but I also love chess. Like there is nothing particular with that. So I'm not part of any organization.
Maybe streaming now has reduced a little bit with all these different roles. Would you love to get back to it again?
I would really love to. Yeah, I've been streaming since 2020, when the pandemic started. And then, unfortunately, due to, also personally, I haven't felt so well. And also the war started in Ukraine in 2022. So of course, first of all, I really boosted my streaming because I was raising money for Ukraine to support. But then somehow with all depression and everything came and frustration and many other things. So I stopped it a little bit. And then I was starting to get back, and also I applied for many events, many tournaments, and since 2023, basically I already had more than Biel Chess Festival, because before that I just had Biel Chess Festival, and since then I had like Shaurzan Masters, Qatar Masters, and since last year Norway Chess, which I'm extremely happy about.
Norway Chess was amazing. Also, I think you were doing some streams for this SC Viernheim in Bundesliga, is that correct?
Yeah, true. Yeah, I do also commentary for the Bundesliga since also end of 2023, beginning of 2024. It's where there was Central Bundesliga, where Hikaru was there.
Yes.
Also, Vichy was playing there, and SC Viernheim, they invited me first for that only for the central round to commentate, but then we built really good bonds with them, and then it continued basically on the whole season. So now I'm coming every weekend Bundesliga. It's like something like 5 weekends per
Yeah.
season, 6, something like
something
this.
like that.
Yes. So yeah, that's also what I love to do.
Oh wow, that's really amazing. And apart from chess, are you doing anything else in the sense of maybe pursuing your education or doing something out of the chess world?
So I've already had a degree, a master's degree and bachelor's degree in Ukraine for the philology, and also it included also the translation, English, German, Ukrainian, Russian. And after that, I moved to Germany also to study, and I started my study in Germany. And because of chess, my goal shifted more to chess. So currently, I still am a student. I still study, but I need a few more semesters to finish my study. And because of my chess, I always postponing it. But it's okay. My main subject is Germanistic, so German studies, because I have true passion for languages. That's why I also had my first degree in Ukraine in translation philology, and that's why I also would love to explore it also in German studies. I also speak very well German.
Oh, wow. And is it important to you, this education, or like for your personal interests, or is it something you think that it is not so important and you would like just carry on with your chess career as is going right now?
So definitely, I think for at least having one degree, it's important because, well, first of all, you learn new things. Like even if you're not going to pursue maybe this in life, although I had some translation gigs, so to say, I've done. Also, I've done related to chess translations from Ukrainian to German, for example, Ukrainian to English. So for that reason, it's still, it's still the skill which I can use and I can do as I wish. But I don't think at this moment that it's so important because I really have a focus and goal in my life. And of course, besides all the projects, I also have chessable courses. So it's like I do a lot in chess. But also besides study chess, I really love singing. So I do love it. And that was actually how when I started streaming chess, I was playing chess and I was singing songs. And then sometimes it was just singing. So sometimes it was just, fully karaoke streams because people love to hear me sing and I also love it. And sometimes it was just full screen chess streams.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Like maybe you can do some music streams again. That can be pretty cool. But what would you say, like you mentioned, you want to remain focused and like want to pursue your goals. What would you say your goal is in the chess world right now? Because we already see you are working at some very top FIDE events, some very important events as presenter, interviewer, commentator. Is there a certain goal you have put that you want to achieve this by this time or something like that?
For me, it's the most important that the people who are following chess, that to basically to help them, like to them translate the minds of the top chess players. This is kind of my goal, and I'm also trying to improve myself because there are, of course, so many, top interviewers, top commentators, so that I would love to improve in that as well. But yeah, my goal is definitely that chess becomes more and more popular. And that's how we can do, like throughout the media, throughout making more interviews, showing the players out of the comfort zone, out of the chess. For me personally, I mean, of course, I really love working how I do right now. I'm not sure like how it's going to continue, like with either I'm going to fully focus on interviewing or still I'm going to pursue some commentating, but for sure, because I would still love to improve my chess. That's another thing which I want to do. So I would love to improve my chess and maybe pursue the commentary. So.
And tell us about your experiences meeting so many of these top players, like the world's best, Magnus, Hikaru, Fabi, and so many more players. How is it to work with them, and how is it to approach them for interviews and speak with them? How rewarding is this process for you?
I remember, also at the Grenke in Germany tournament. I think it was my first interview with Magnus, also with Ding. Also, some other chess players, whenever it's like your first time approaching someone on the very top, you're being really nervous. And, I still remember that feeling, you're like thinking, oh, if I forget to ask this question or this, and what if he, doesn't like my question? But yeah, it was, I had the feeling that I was a bit nervous, but then after I went through with it, I was like, and it was so rewarding. I felt really well. And when I was like watching the interview, I was like, oh, it's really, really great. So now, of course, there are still some moments when you're feeling nervous, depending on the question you want to ask. Like at Norway Chess, Magnus was struggling. So anytime asking him something, like you cannot just ask Magnus, how is the tournament going? Yeah, like,
you have to have some specific question prepared for them.
Yeah, for example, for Magnus, I asked like, you won almost every event there is in chess, and expectation is super high. So how would you share the story of the tournament? And that's of course a different angle that you look at it, and you don't just directly say, well, you play awfully, and you just want to know why. There are also different players, and for example, some players, they don't speak too much. Some players you can ask just how are you, and then Hikaru will just will talk non-stop, for example, or Wesley. But some players you have to ask more, like for example Bhargav. Ghosh, I think, speaks more nowadays than he used.
No, he has gotten better for sure, I think. Yeah.
Yes. By the way, with Ghosh, the first interview I had was at the Biel Chess Festival 2021. He played in the Masters Open. And I was rewatching that interview, and like I see how we evolved. Like he's medially evolved. During the interview, of course, he's now the world champion, and I was also a bit shy. I was interviewing him, even though back then he was not the world champion, but it's still something new to me. But nowadays, of course, I also have good relationship with many of the players. They know me, and they know, like, also when you interview, you would like to remain with a good experience with the players, so that next time when I ask them for an interview, they would love to give me an interview. And that's so far working great.
And tell us a bit about this preparation part, because I think this is quite critical. Like whatever role it is, be it interviewing, be it presenting, be it commentating, I think preparation before the streams or before the interview is very important. Is there a process you follow for it, where you maybe would, let's say, see some statistics, watch some games, what is going on? How is this preparation process for you?
Depending, of course, on the event and if top players are participating, because, of course, all of us who are in the chess world, we are following the news, and it's super important to stay up to date. Because if, for example, you are not in the loop for some time, and then suddenly you have events, and you have to, research everything what was happening. So it's very important to be up to date with everything what's happening in the chess world when it comes to the top tournaments. So you don't double ask some questions which were, for example, just asked. And I really like when I, for example, see some interviews and I see some question was touched, and maybe some double, like second question could be asked. So just maybe, trying to ask on the question, saying, okay, you said this and this, and I would like to, continue from there. But for example, at this tournament in Biel, this year we have some players which I don't know so much about. So of course, there I had to do some extra research. Sometimes it includes like researching in the national federations to see their achievements. And just to see the achievements, what they were playing so far. For example, for some players here, it's one of the biggest events that they achieved here. Also, it's important, for example, in this event we have international master who is actually a GM. He fulfilled all requirements. He just needs for the approval to become a
maybe
grandmaster.
In September he will get the title.
Yes,
in FIDE Congress.
Exactly. So for that reason, of course, it's very important to know the person you're interviewing, at least a little bit. And what I also usually do when, for example, there is a first time interviewing some player who is, maybe not so known to me beforehand, I just, chat a little bit with him, that, maybe double check some facts, and very important, asking his name. Because, of course, I'm also looking for the other interviews, how the player was called, and For example, in this field we have Yes, who some people call Yagis.
But even I do actually. It is not the best probably,
No, but okay, it also takes so much time to learn all kind of pronunciation in different languages. It's understandable that you might do mistake, but I'm trying to do my best, just to double check everything.
And there's one more thing which I wanted to touch on in this subject. In round robin events, doing interviews or doing commentary is quite different. And then when you're doing these open tournaments like the Grand Swiss, let's say, how different is it? Because in open events, it quite often happens that there's a big result. Maybe some relatively unknown player has made a good result. And then to speak about them, to check on all the boards that where some nice tactic has happened. Like, what are the differences, would you say, between round robin events and open events?
In terms of the commentating, of course, there is this big challenge of trying to keep your eye on everything, which is, unfortunately, it's impossible. Here for us at the Biel Chess Festival, for example, we have 6 games. It's easy to cover them.
It's like very controlled, basically.
Yes, and whenever we see something on the on the bird's eye view, we immediately jump there and we see what's happening. For example, how it also happened at the Grand Swiss, I was there as a presenter, and that helped also commentators a lot. They were focusing on the top boards, and I was searching around through the others. So it's definitely important to have some other person who would be in charge of controlling other things which are happening, either giving hints to the commentator. Sometimes I was just writing, for example, in the chat, like, okay, this game, because, okay, Ghosh was struggling in that tournament, let's say Ghosh is struggling or whatever is happening on the other board. Or I would just come there and before the break and I just show something that has happened quite significantly. For example, if I remember, Yes won against Midyarov, or there was some really big result. Also, Aydin, by the way, who is playing here, also had some big results in the tournament. So
in Hong Kong as well, he beat Magnus there.
Yes. So some really big results, and you have to be up to date. And for that reason, being when you're having a duo commentators in such a big event, you really need some extra help. It's because we had Yavanka there and Yevgeny Miroshnichenko, and they were covering. It would not be possible for them to go through everything and find some information without extra help.
Just one final question, Angelika. With all these roles that you do, I think often in the chess world we think that maybe some things can be improved on, some things new can come in. Based on your experiences, what are some of the things you would like to see more of in the chess world? It can be like technology, it can be something small, like if you can share something which you think can be a nice addition.
Definitely confessional booth. So for every tournament, for every top tournament, confessional booths would be amazing. That's what we also try to implement at Biel for the next edition. And in terms of the interviewing, I don't really think there is something from technical perspective that can be improved. Not really sure about that, but definitely in the commentary, when, for example, we would have more of the cameras which are looking at the players. Of course, they're on the top events, like on top FIDE events. We also see at the Norway Chess, but it would be better to spread onto all the other events that they have, because usually we have this, back view. We don't see all the emotions. Yeah. And third thing, which I think would improve really a lot, the engagement from the other people is seeing chess players not at the chessboard, but somewhere else. It's what Norway Chess is doing amazingly, having the Norway Chess games every year, bringing players either to some cowboy,
and this year it was sailing, I think, yeah?
This year was sailing, so to see chess players, not at the chessboard, to see them in the real life, how would they struggle with the challenges, how different are they from each other in coping with some tasks and difficulties. And of course, more players giving interviews, because some of the players are not giving or not so willingly giving to interviews. But I think all of us should understand that the players have to input themselves in this media part, because in that way bring more sponsors to chess. We bring more opportunities, more companies to chess, and that's why we had some accidents, like when people were just escaping. But I think players understand it, and that's why if they give more to media, of course not after a tough loss or something like this, but if we show more of their life, I have a feeling it's a way to expand people and reach more viewers to chess, bring more people to chess, even who don't know chess. Because if we compare chess to football, you can watch football if you don't know anything. For example, me, I have no idea. I was just watching the finals. Of course, I know some things, but and we need to try to reach that one to the people throughout the world, so that everyone falls in love with the game.
That's amazing. Thank you, Angelika, for your time, for sharing all these thoughts and regarding your work in the world of chess. I wish you nothing but all the best for all that you do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.